this whole exercise. But today, they've completed the surface of the road. You can see, of course, they've also covered this drain, and the drain covers is still the way we build sidewalks in Guyana, because of course nobody seems to think that they ought to be dedicated sidewalks. Pedestrians are an afterthought. Hopefully the next generation will get it right. But for now, this is what progress looks like in Guyana. Progress looks like mediocrity from any other country. But of course, there are people who actually have no idea what standards are, who will argue that I should not complain. I'm not complaining, I'm pointing out very poor standards that are being used. In other words, there is no building code. We still don't have a policy on how to construct roads in Guyana. We don't have a document that says these are the dimensions of the road everywhere in the country. If it's this kind of road, then this is how wide it should be. This is how wide the sidewalk should be. This is how high the sidewalk should be. There's no document that simply outlines or describes how to construct roads, and there's no quality assurance. There's no one checking to make sure that these roads all meet the same quality. Now the gutter comes to an abrupt end here, and that's it. That's the end of the sidewalk. A 1.5 foot drop. And here, of course, is the other gutter. So this is the gutter on the side of the road, and they've covered it with some concrete slabs, and that's the sidewalk. And that, of course, it's a long time since I visited this housing development, but there is a row of houses. I think it's now completed. Got to go take a look at that housing development again to see if, in fact, if they started renting out the apartments and what they cost. But about a year ago, I think, it's the last time I visited them. But yes, guys, this is Cummings Lodge on the East Coast, on the railway road. And what we can see is that they've completed the railway road all the way, it seems, to Ogle. Right, since we started this video, we were at Pattinson, crossed into Lilliendal, or we crossed from Lilliendal into Pattinson, and then crossed into Turkine, and crossed into Cummings Lodge, where we are now, and Industry, I guess, is the next village. And after Industry, it's Ogle. And it seems as if this road has been completed all the way, at least up to Ogle. So this is what's happening here, guys. This is what is happening in this neck of the woods as we get an update on the railway road, the widening of the railway road. From the time we started looking at this at the end, the this western end at Sheriff Street, to now, it's about 2 years, maybe a little more than 2 years, 3 years, maybe even 5 years. Because I remember looking at it when they first started. In other words, we started making videos when they first announced that they were going to widen this road. And now it's a wider road. So it's taken about 5 years, but we can see the progress. Right, where we are now is Cummings Lodge heading into industry. And this is the railway road through Cummings Lodge. Now, this railway road continues all the way to Mahaika, and the whole length of this railway road. In fact, the embankment itself for the train went all the way to Rossignol. In other words, this is a road that ran the entire coast of Demerara from Georgetown to Rossignol. And the road has been constructed all the way to Mahaika, and it's going to be widened in this exercise, this project. It's going to be widened all the way to Mahaika. So it seems as if they've completed the widening at least as far as Ogle, which we can see in the distance, perhaps as far as Plaisance, where we visited before. We're now in industry, right? So this is the railway road going through industry, and the next village is Ogle. But this is what has happened. It has become a wider road, which means, I guess, better traffic flow, hopefully less congestion now that the road is open, because for the last year or so it was a nightmare trying to move down the east coast to Georgetown, particularly on weekday mornings. And we're going to do a review of that, get some commuters to tell us what their experiences have been. Of course, there are always speeding trucks. That's a truck going at about 60 miles an hour here on the railway road. Of course, the speed limit is 30 miles an hour. So this is what is happening, guys. This is here now, the railway road. It's now wider all the way to, I believe, Ogle and perhaps Plaisance, as we pass through industry. Right, this is the road through industry. And all these neighborhoods are now, I guess, accessible because of the new railway road. You can begin to see airplanes taking off from Ogle Airport. And that's one of the planes taking off from Ogle Airport. And this is industry, looking, of course, north. You can see the roof of that building, which is in Oleander Gardens. That's a multi-story condominium in Oleander Gardens, and we featured in several videos in the past. So that's where we are on Railway Road. But yes, guys, this is what has happened here since the last time we were in here. This is what the progress with construction on the East Coast looks like. Now, it's difficult to see, of course, looking into the sunlight, but what they've done is they've resurfaced the road, made it wider. They've also replaced some of these, what do you call them, street lamp posts. Street lamp posts. This is a new residence here at Industry. Or it says the residence at Industry. So basically, this wider road makes it possible. I don't know if this is a hotel. It says the residence. It could be a hotel or a apartment building. But here at Industry, this is housing supermarket. Yeah, what I was about to say is that this wider road opens up access to places like Industry to commuters, people who don't necessarily live in this neighborhood, but now can drive along the road and stop, maybe visit some of the shopping centers, markets, supermarkets, and hotels. All right, so the road actually does add something of value to these areas. As we cross over from Industry into Ogle, right, this is the canal that separates Industry from Ogle. I think this is Sugrim Road, looking south towards Ogle. Yep, this is again Sugrim Road looking north towards the seawall. And here we are in Ogle. As you cross into Ogle, you can see the road is still wider. I guess they still need to do some work on the drain covers here. But that's what's up, guys. That's what's happening in this neck of the woods. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. The next intersection, I think, brings us to the roundabout. Right, that roundabout at Ogle, the entrance to Ogle Airport Road and the new East Coast Bypass Road. But this is what has happened. They've completed the railway road. They've completed widening of the railway road all the way to Ogle. This part of the road, of course, not as wide as the other part. As you can see, there are still some electric lamp posts. This one sitting in the middle of the slow lane. All right, so I guess they're gonna have to eventually move this lamp post. They just haven't done it yet, I guess. Right, but the problem, of course, is that by widening this road, they've now moved the road, the edge of the road, right up against the property line of some of the houses. All right, so these houses were built very, very close to the embankment here in Ogle, and now that the road is wider, they've moved traffic right up against the property line. But that's it, guys. That's what's up in this neck of the woods. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Morning. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world, Guyana. Later. Right, this is Ogle, and as you can see, some of this some of these posts, these lamp posts, are actually in the middle of the lane that we're walking on. It affects the widening of the road. They actually have to remove those electric poles, telephone poles, to complete the widening. So that's it, guys. That's what's up in this neck of the woods. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening. The fastest growing economy in the world, Guyana. Let's get to Ogle. It's very, very busy at Ogle. This road, I think, takes you all the way out to the shore. Yep, I've used that road before. And here, of course, the same. Takes you into the back of Ogle. And now, now we're approaching morning. We're approaching the roundabout of Ogle. So this is as far as the widening of the East Coast Railway Road reaches. As you can see beyond, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but beyond the roundabout, heading towards Plaisance, the road has not been widened yet. But I guess we'll get to it. We'll be able to see that soon. Looking backwards. This is the roundabout. This is actually a deadly roundabout now. One person was killed in an accident at this roundabout already. And beyond this roundabout, the East Coast Railway Road is still to be widened. Right, that's looking along the new East Coast Bypass Road towards the East Coast Road. And this is looking towards Ogle Airport. That's it, guys. That's it for this video. Share with friends and family. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world. That's the new roundabout here at Ogle. Later!